This is a severe weather bulletin. The National Weather Service in Elko has issued a dust storm warning for southeastern Elko County in northwestern Nevada, northern West Pine County in west-central Nevada, and Eureka County in central Nevada. This dust storm warning will take effect as of 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this evening and will remain in effect until 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time Monday. At 5:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this evening, a large and extremely dense wall of dust was located from a line extending from Carlin, or 92 miles north of Eureka, to Beaware, or 115 miles northeast of Eureka, to Mount Tanabo, or 150 miles northeast of Eureka, to Duckwater, or 46.6 miles southwest of Eureka, moving west at 25 miles per hour. Hazards: less than a 1/10 mile visibilities, with visibilities near zero in some areas, along with strong and extremely violent wind gusts in excess of 65 miles per hour. Source: Doppler radar and trained weather spotters. Impacts: travel will become nearly impossible in areas engulfed by the wall of dust, and inhalation of dust can be harmful to humans. Due to the severity of this dust storm, the National Weather Service in Elko and the Nevada Highway Patrol are strongly discouraging travel at this time, and citizens should also consider turning off all ventilation systems to prevent dust particles from entering your home. If you are currently outdoors, seek the nearest substantial shelter in relation to your current location, such as a sturdy building or a deep cave. Locations impacted by this storm include, but are not limited to, northern portions of Toyab National Forest, Duckwater, Eureka, Lund, Eli, McGill, Eureka, Crescent Valley, Beaware, Ruby Valley, South Fork Band Colony, Elko, Asino, Carlin, Cherry Creek, and the Goshute Indian Reservation. Dust storms are deadly. If you are caught in the wall of dust, pull off of the road and turn off all lights. Remain at home and do not travel if at all possible. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Dust storms can cause massive and deadly accidents. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio or local news stations for further updates and possible warnings. This is the emergency notification system. Do not use the telephone. Telephone lines are to be kept open for emergency use only. The emergency notification system has been activated. This message will repeat in 1 minute.
The following message has been transmitted at the request of the National Weather Service and the Idaho State Highway Patrol. This is a civil emergency. A civil emergency has been declared for Twin Falls, Idaho, as well as the surrounding communities of Kimberly, Filer, McMillan, Barrymore, Falls City, Hanson, and Bills. Within the past half hour, severe dust storms have begun to make travel on highways 30 and 93 nearly impossible, with authorities reporting that in most areas, visibility is now down to 0.5 miles, with near zero visibilities impacting Kimberly and Filer roadways in particular. Due to the severity of these storms and the impacts they are having in regards to travel safety, authorities have ordered the suspension of all bus routes effective immediately, and are heavily encouraging citizens to remain in their homes, and shut off all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems, as well as to securely close all windows and doors, to prevent harmful dust from entering your home, and subsequently being inhaled by your family or yourself, which will lead to adverse effects for your health. Again, a civil emergency has been declared for Twin Falls, Idaho, and the surrounding communities of Kimberly, Filer, McMillan, Barrymore, Falls City, Hanson and Bills, and all bus routes have now been suspended due to severe roadway conditions caused by ongoing dust storms. All citizens should strongly consider remaining inside their homes, with air conditioning, heating, and ventilation systems shut off, with all windows and doors locked, and properly secured, in order to prevent the inhalation of dust particles. This message will repeat in 30 seconds. The emergency notification system has been activated. We interrupt regularly scheduled programming to participate in this activation of the emergency notification system. The following message has been transmitted at the request of the Nevada State Highway Patrol, the Elko Police Department, the Governor's Office, and the Nevada National Guard. This is a law enforcement warning for the following areas: Elko County in northwestern Nevada, Eureka County in central Nevada, and West Pine County in west central Nevada. This law enforcement warning will take effect as of 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this evening, and will remain in effect until further notice. As of 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this evening, a dust storm which had prompted a dust storm warning earlier this evening dissipated below severe limits. However, upon the lifting of the dust, another far more dangerous situation has arisen. At approximately 9:28 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, distress calls were received by the Nevada State Highway Patrol from the Elko, Ely, and Eureka Police Departments reporting that they were under attack from what appeared to be members of the Nevada State Highway Patrol, the Nevada National Guard, and an unknown branch of the United States Marines. Reports stated that a brief power outage had taken place in each of the aforementioned cities, and that upon the restoration of power, members of the Nevada State Highway Patrol, National Guard, and Marines appeared in the streets, and began to open fire upon civil authorities and law-abiding citizens. And upon receiving this report, members of the Nevada State Highway Patrol and the Nevada National Guard were immediately mobilized and rushed to Elko, Ely, and Eureka, only to discover a horrific scene. Bodies lining the streets, with members of their own agencies holding weapons unlike anything they had ever seen, going door to door, luring citizens out of their homes with promises of medical assistance, before executing them. A firefight then commenced between the Nevada National Guard and the Nevada State Highway Patrol and these imposters, and after eliminating these imposters, authorities inspected the bodies, only to discover that some of them appeared to be none other than themselves. Around 4,000 civilian casualties have been reported, and at this time, the Governor's Office is in direct contact with the Joint Chiefs of Staff and President Bill Clinton, and are discussing further actions to be taken, as around 800 of the hostile Marines were able to flee the scenes of these horrific crimes, and it is believed that some of them may have fled into Utah and may be planning to carry out further attacks against the general public. For this reason, all citizens are being advised to remain at home for the foreseeable future, and that if they have armed protection, to fully prepare to defend their lives. Once you have procured any armed protection, you should proceed to the most interior room in your home, or basement with no windows or openings to the outside world, and should remain quiet. Citizens should also continue to monitor radio and television outlets for further updates on the situation, but should ensure that volume levels are either set to a low enough volume that noise cannot be detected by anyone outside of their homes, and it is ideal if you are able to wear headphones to further conceal your location. Ensure that you also have any medicinal items you may need for your stay in shelter, and that you also bring with you non-perishable foods into your place of shelter, so that you may remain in this room until the conclusion of this dangerous situation, and can remain healthy without needing to reveal your location to the outside world. Further information on this developing situation will be transmitted as it becomes available. This is the emergency notification system. Do not use the telephone. Telephone lines are to be kept open for official use only. The emergency notification system has been activated. This is an administrative message from the Salt Lake City Police Department and the Governor's Office. Over the past hour, thousands of 911 calls have been received from the Salt Lake City area reporting that homeowners have been approached by individuals who seemingly resemble themselves, asking for entrance to their homes, claiming that they need to contact loved ones, and that something horrible is going to happen. These individuals have been turned away by homeowners, at which point these individuals become aggressive, and begin pounding and ramming their bodies into doors attempting to gain entrance into said homes, and these individuals have all been noted as having distinct facial scarring and flesh wounds. The Salt Lake City Police Department would like to report that they have been attempting to arrest these individuals, and at this time, while over 300 arrests have been made, this only amounts to about 15% of all reported deviants. Due to the amount of calls from residents in the Salt Lake City area, there may be some delay in police response to your calls. The Salt Lake City Police Department would like to reassure citizens that your calls are by no means being ignored, but that due to the volume of calls, it may take some time before officers are able to arrive at your home and assist you in quelling any disturbances. The governor has been in communication with the mayor and has authorized the mobilization of the Utah National Guard in order to assist in the quelling of this situation, and that citizens should remain in their homes until they are advised that this series of disturbances has been brought to a conclusive end. Please also be advised that there may be a delay in response from 911 operators due to the magnitude of calls they are receiving. Further information will be broadcast as it becomes available. This message will repeat in 1 minute. The emergency notification system has been activated.
We interrupt regularly scheduled programming to bring you an important message from Her Majesty's government. Please stand by and await further information. We interrupt regularly scheduled programming to bring you an important message from Her Majesty's government. Please stand by and await further information. This is an emergency warning from the BBC. Within the past hour, residents in London have been reporting to authorities that strange doppelgangers have been forcibly attempting to enter and subsequently occupy their homes, and that these doppelgangers seem to be armed with ballistic weapons. Over 10,000 reports have been received, and these doppelgangers have even infiltrated Buckingham Palace and have gravely wounded the Queen. At this time, authorities are urging anyone hearing this message to immediately move away from windows and doors, and to procure any form of protection that is available to you. These doppelgangers seemingly mirror those who are currently terrorizing areas of the United States, and similar reports of violent doppelgangers have been received from Germany, Japan, Russia, South Africa, and Italy. Her Majesty's government is looking into methods by which these doppelgangers may be apprehended and removed, as it seems they possess immense strength and are impervious to traditional weaponry. Further information will be transmitted as it becomes known. This is the BBC in London. This bulletin will repeat.
We interrupt regularly scheduled programming to participate in this activation of the emergency notification system. The following message has been transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this message. A foreign invasion is taking place in the state of Utah. Approximately 10 minutes ago, a large wall of dust was spotted approaching Salt Lake City, Utah, with motorists reporting that what sounded like helicopter blades and shouting could be heard emanating from within the dust storm. Within the past 10 minutes the storm completely dissolved, and once the wall of dust had vanished, what appeared in its place was as many as 450 military helicopters, which began deploying paratroopers into Salt Lake City, and the deployed troops appeared to be wearing uniforms that resemble those worn by members of the United States Air Force. These individuals are believed to be related to the imposters who attacked areas in northeastern Nevada earlier this evening, and these paratroopers have since begun taking hostages within the city. The motives of these paratroopers remain unknown to civil and military authorities, and the United States Air Force can confirm that this enemy force has no relation or affiliation to the United States Air Force. Due to this series of attacks, the following actions are being taken to protect the sovereignty of the United States and to protect its population at large. All air traffic has been grounded until further notice, and all flights which are currently in the air must land at once, or they will be shot down by the United States Air Force. All military personnel have been recalled from manual leaves of absence, as have policemen and policewomen, and they must now report to their nearest police station or military installation as soon as possible. All travel in and out of the state of Utah, as well as all travel in and out of the state of Nevada is now prohibited, and anyone attempting to cross state lines will be shot. All non-combatants in the states of Nevada and Utah are to remain in their homes until further notice, and martial law has been enacted in these states, and will remain in effect until further notice. Continue to listen for further updates on this developing situation. The emergency notification system has been activated. The following message has been transmitted at the request of the Orlando Police Department, the Pentagon, and the Department of Defense. 47 minutes ago, all contact was lost with government officials, including the President, who were located within Washington, D.C. When contact was re-established 10 minutes ago, it became apparent to officials at the Pentagon that the doppelgangers who have initiated the crisis currently impacting our country had infiltrated Washington, D.C., as calls were received from senators luring their families to join them in the Capitol, and the President ordering that all military forces stand down and surrender to the invading military forces. During this time, North American Airspace Defense Command was monitoring enemy air movements across the continent of North America, now reporting that around 65% of the continent is either under attack or has been fully occupied by these doppelgangers, and that military forces, if they wish to have any chance to repel these forces, would need to immediately execute defensive maneuvers such as widespread evacuations to the sea, as most of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and the Carolinas have remained unoccupied, and that these forces have not yet been reported as active at sea, and nuclear strikes Upon deployment to Washington, D.C. 5 minutes ago by Rapid Response Unit of the United States Marines, the flayed corpse of, not just the President, but the Vice President, members of the United States Congress and Senate, and countless civilians had been hung from the lampposts and lined the streets of the city, and at this time, the Pentagon has assumed complete control of day-to-day operations of the United States. As it now has become apparent that the individuals who currently are inhabiting offices of government in Washington, D.C. proper, are nothing but doppelgangers who are responsible for the murders of true members of government. At this time, the Orlando Police Department can report that, while there have not been any reports of doppelgangers within the areas of now, situations can change at any moment, and that based on reports from the Pentagon and NORAD, most of the nation has been overtaken, and that citizens should immediately prepare to evacuate to the sea by ship, and the Walt Disney Cruise Division has begun to prepare over 50 cruise liners. In collaboration with other cruise companies, including MSC Cruises, who have already deployed 25 ships with approximately 50,000 survivors in Italy and Switzerland, who have also been spared as of this broadcast, and Carnival Cruises, who have sent an additional 100 ships, both cruise liners and carrier vessels, to ports in Florida, so that the remaining population of Florida can't be safely evacuated before any doppelganger attacks eliminate the population and replace you and your family. Further information will be broadcast as it becomes known to the Orlando Police Department. The emergency notification system has been activated. This message will repeat until further notice.